The story begins in a dungeon where a girl named Ling Zi meets up with the sleeping great evil dragon, Revandia, to offer her life in exchange that the dragon will protect her people against the demon lord's army. This information startles Revandia, as he claims that he's just a herbivorous dragon whose only feature is that he has lived for a lot longer than anyone but is afraid of any slightest inconvenience. But Ling Zi insists Revandia by suggesting that her meat is the finest, but Revandia shows her the kind of food he prefers, which makes Ling Zi form a plate with her in the middle as the main course, as Ling Zi claims that she doesn't have a family to support her and the villagers will kill her if the great dragon doesn't eat her. Finally, Ling Zi decides to take her own life, if Revandia doesn't think she is a suitable sacrifice, but the thought of bloodshed scares Revandia, making him think of ways to convince Ling Zi when a plan clicks in his mind and he claims that he already ate Ling Zi's soul, which startles her and she claims that now she is Revandia's disciple. The dragon takes Ling Zi to her village when along the way he thinks that the villagers will welcome him wholeheartedly, but his dreams shatter as soon as he reaches there. Revandia decides to play the great evil dragon as he doesn't want them to think of him as a lowly beast, and orders the villagers to take care of Ling Zi as he ate her soul with the intention that the villagers will now look after her until Revandia decides to eat her flesh. A rock hits Revandia's face, causing him to scream, but he still manages to fool the villagers and realizes that the person who attacked them is Ryoto, who was the actual sacrifice, but as he is an heir to the village chief, they sent Ling Zi. Soon, through Ryoto's words, Revandia realizes that the boy has feelings for Ling Zi and decides to use him in order to make Ling Zi feel safe. But before Revandia can say anything, the village gets attacked by great wolves and the villagers put Revandia in their path, thinking that he will defeat them. The thought of the wolves attacking Revandia startles him and he decides to try his luck by acting like a ferocious dragon. But the wolf doesn't listen and attacks Revandia, which makes Ling Zi intervene, making her take care of all the monsters in mere seconds. The magic emitted from Ling Zi's body makes Revandia realize that he hasn't seen such potential in 5,000 years, and she might be the only one who is much stronger than the demon wolves. After the fight, the horrified Revandia takes Ling Zi to the village where he decides to have a chat with Ryoto with the intention of explaining him what is actually happening. But as soon as Ryoto makes his appearance, he again belittles Revandia by claiming that he is using Ling Zi so that the Demon Lord army only thinks of her as an enemy, making Revandia escape easily. Even though Revandia decides to refute Ryoto's claim, Ling Zi intervenes by claiming that she will kill Ryoto in Revandia's stead, which makes Revandia ask Ling Zi if they are friends. Ling Zi informs Revandia that Ryoto has been acting strange ever since she was appointed as a sacrifice, as he always gives her clothes so that she can leave the village. This information makes Revandia sympathize with Ryoto's one-sided crush, but Ling Zi ignores Revandia's words and decides to rob Ryoto's house by claiming that he threatened Revandia's life, so it gives them the right to steal from them. As soon as Ling Zi changes into her new outfit, Ryoto admires her and claims that this dress is chanted, and it will keep her safe from the evil dragon. After that, Ling Zi suggests that they should leave to get to the Demon Lord's mansion, making her form wings around Revandia's back, which startles him at first, but he still manages to fly away with Ling Zi. Along the way, Revandia decides to distract Ling Zi from her thoughts of attacking the Demon Lord by claiming that he wants to explore the world and hire more warriors in his pursuit of killing the Demon Lord. This makes Ling Zi use another one of her skills called Evil Dragon Clairvoyance in order to find a town with guilds and warriors. After using the skill, Ling Zi suggests a nearby town, which Revandia finds well lit and thinks this might be a good place to settle Ling Zi. But as soon as they reach near it, Revandia realizes that the town is actually under attack by bird monsters. The soldiers and the monster watch Revandia and Ling Zi enter the town, making them attack them, but Ling Zi uses her power of dragon breath to take them all at once. Revandia lands near a soldier outpost, where everyone recognizes him as the great evil dragon, whose magical power is on par with the Demon Lord and feels afraid of his presence. The leader of the soldiers, Ariante, approaches Revandia and Ling Zi to ask them for their helping hand against the ravaging monsters, which makes Revandia ask Ling Zi to take the matter into her hands. Ling Zi attacks the monster head-on, while Revandia informs Ariante that the person controlling these creatures is nearby, so they should search for higher places to have a view of the whole town. Soon, Lingzi returns to Revandia with a victorious face as she informs him that she defeated all the monsters, making Revandia ask Lingzi to rest for a while, as the soldiers will take care of the rest. Lingzi sleeps near Revandia while she dreams of her father, which makes her cry. As Revandia thinks about Lingzi's situation, Ariante and her army approach them and claim that Revandia was right and that they have saved them. Ariante asks her soldiers to look after the wounded, while she decides to have a talk with Revandia to ask the reason for betraying the demon lord. Revandia diverts the question and asks Ariante to take care of Lingzi, making Ariante suspicious of Revandia's intention, which makes Revandia come clean about his situation, informing that Lingzi is a powerful wizard. Ariante finds the explanation unreasonable and claims that Revandia is looking at throwing that responsibility on Lingzi, causing Revandia to negate Ariante's claims. But Ariante informs Revandia that if Lingzi is a great wizard, such power will only consume her soul and will turn her into an actual evil dragon, as such power is unknown to humans and there has been no such case before. Revandia is taken aback by this revelation, which makes Ariante repeat her question about Revandia betraying the Demon King, by claiming that she is a great warrior in the demon army, and she attacks Revandia head-on. Lingzi intercepts Ariante's attack and stops her in time, but as she is already exhausted from her previous fight with the bird monster, Ariante manages to overpower her and attacks her from behind, leaving her unconscious. After that, Ariante attacks Revandia, who thinks that his time has come, but as Ariante calls upon him, Revandia realizes that he is not physically hurt, which makes Ariante inform him that the sword she is using is a special sword that can only inflict pain, as a normal sword cannot hurt Revandia's skin. After several attacks, Ariante decides to believe Revandia's words that he is a weak dragon and asks him not to tell others about it, as there is a bounty on his head, which will make different bounty hunters attack him wherever he goes, making Revandia sad about his quiet life. Revandia asks Ariante about being a general in the demon army, making her inform that she was only lying and just wanted to see if Revandia was telling the truth or not. Ariante also advises Revandia to tell Lingzi that what happened at night was just a dream, and also asks Revandia to take care of Lingzi, as she definitely will believe Revandia's words because Lingzi admires him the most. Ariante also suggests to Revandia what he should do for Lingzi, which startles him, but he decides to comply. Soon after, as the sun rises, Lingzi wakes up and screams as she watches Revandia has shrunk. In horror, Lingzi asks Revandia the reason for shrinking, which makes Revandia remember that Ariante shoved a stinky-looking potion in his mouth, as his large demeanor causes a lot of attention. Revandia decides to lie about his appearance by claiming that being such a large dragon, he thought he will look down on people, so he's decided to shrink his size so that he doesn't crush people's pride. Even Revandia found his own explanation sketchy, but Lingzi believes his words, which makes Revandia suggest that they should leave. As the duo leaves, Lingzi thinks about the encounter they had the night before, which makes Revandia intervene and suggest it was just her dream, as Ariante not only provided them with new clothes and a weapon, but also generously gave them a place to stay, making Lingzi believe him, but also suggest that if she will do anything to harm Revandia, she will kill her. While everyone is working on repairing their town, Ryoto appears out of the blue and asks about Revandia's location. This commotion is seen by Ariante, but before she can respond to him, a rock falls on him, making Ariante save his life, while the others suggest that Ariante is very powerful, as she has also fought the dragon last night, making Ryoto beg her to make him her disciple. Ariante decides to train him, but claims that her training methods are aggressive, which makes Ryoto suggest that he will do anything to defeat the evil dragon and protect Lingzi. Ariante immediately puts Ryoto on a very hard training schedule, causing him to feel weak. Ariante brings one of her stinky potions and asks Ryoto to drink it if he wants to continue his training, otherwise he will have to leave, making him comply. Elsewhere, Revandia feels tired from the long journey and asks Lingzi to make a stop. He feels hungry as he watches a rabbit eat some grass. Lingzi suggests that she will gather some of the finest meat for Revandia's liking, which he rejects, but before he can explain himself, Revandia remembers Ariante's words that Lingzi only trusts him as an evil dragon. While the duo talk, 3 thugs approach them. Revandia asks Lingzi not to attack them, as he doesn't want people to hate him, but as soon as it is revealed that these thugs are human traffickers, Revandia asks Lingzi to nudge the leader. It causes the leader serious injuries, and the thugs lead the duo to the camp where they are hiding people. Revandia proposes that Lingzi takes the wounded and the thugs to a nearby town as a part of her training, while thinking of munching on some fruits while they are gone. As soon as everyone leaves, Revandia enters the cave that he spotted earlier, thinking there will be tons of his favorite moss. But when Revandia gets inside the cave, he falls through a pit where he finds himself in front of an evil shadow, who laughs as a living thing is in front of him, which makes Revandia extremely terrified, making him call out for Lingzi. The shadow turns into a person and calls out Revandia, who runs as he thinks he doesn't have a chance against such a creature. But as soon as Revandia runs into a trap, the creature saves him and even offers him some food to eat. While eating, the creature claims that he is sensing something inhumane around the surface, which makes Revandia suggest that it might be Lingzi. After that, Revandia asks the creature about his stay at such a quiet cave, which makes the creature tell Revandia his story. The creature is a hunter god who descended to Earth so that he can teach humans the way of hunting, but as many people learned from him, they started to abandon him and even forgot about him, which caused the hunter god to live in such a place, as he can only get out if people ask for his guidance in hunting. The story of the hunter god makes Revandia feel sad, and he decides to help him by suggesting that the hunter god can teach him how to hunt, which makes the hunter god extremely happy. Soon they get out of the cave, and the hunter god claims that he will teach Revandia some hunting skills in mere 3 hours, which makes Revandia claim that he has tried learning a lot of skills for 5,000 years, but it was all in vain. The hunting god suggests that there can only be bad masters and not bad students, making him start Revandia's training. The hunting god starts Revandia's training by push-ups, which he fails as his body type isn't really capable of doing it, which makes the hunting god suggest another type of training, which involves Revandia crossing an area through a log. But as Revandia gets on top of it, the log breaks down, causing hunting god to feel agitated, and he decides to keep on training Revandia by mending the log with magic. But no matter how much Revandia tries, he fails the test, causing him to scream, which is also heard by Lingzi, who is on her way to a nearby town with the thugs and the wounded. Meanwhile, the hunting god suggests one last test to Revandia, which involves him going through a trap, but as he tries to move, the effect of the shrinking potion fades, causing the bomb to explode as Revandia's size increases. As the hunting god isn't really able to fulfill the obligation of teaching Revandia in 3 hours, he asks Revandia to extend his hand and gives him some special powers, suggesting that he has fulfilled his obligation, and vanishes, asking Revandia to never tell a soul about their failed encounter. In the morning, Revandia wakes up at Lingzi's call and asks her not to leave his sight ever again, which makes Lingzi happy, and she suggests that she has come across a town that is free from demon lord control, so Revandia should try to take it over and reign his administration over them, which surprises Revandia, but he still complies as Lingzi asks him to move forward. As the duo approaches the town, Lingzi suggests that they should take over it, even though Revandia is against it. Soon the duo reaches the town, making Revandia suggest that there should be some kind of security measure in place to protect the town, which makes Lingzi use her power, telling Revandia that a barrier is protecting the town. All of a sudden, Revandia hears a voice inside his head, which claims that Revandia and Lingzi should leave the town, but as Revandia tries to reason with the saint that he is only visiting to get some place to stay, the saint screams and leaves. Revandia comes back to his senses, and Lingzi informs that she has used her power to subdue the saint by going behind her in the barrier to startle her, as the evil dragon would have done the same, making Revandia think about his life choices. After that, the duo visits the town, where people feel afraid of Revandia's presence, which makes Revandia ask Lingzi about what they discussed earlier. With a heavy heart, Lingzi tells the villagers that they are only a group of circus people who are visiting the town to show off their talents. It makes the crowd feel relieved, making them all leave, while one of them stays to inform the duo about the history of their town. He informs them that this town was a desert, but a saint helped them grow, and she had the ability to control water and earth, which made the whole town a prosperous area. After hearing the story, Revandia asks him to show the duo a place where they can stay, and while they settle in the room, Revandia asks Lingzi to stay in the hotel while he goes around town, which she complies to by claiming that she understands her assignment, making Revandia worry about her, but he still leaves. While canvassing the town, Revandia decides to have a chat with the saint in order to apologize for the inconvenience caused by him and Lingzi, while the saint is hiding from him in a bar inside a cup. Soon, Revandia reaches the bar in search of water, but as soon as he tries to grab the cup, the saint runs away, thinking that Revandia is there to kill her. Revandia comes across the saint everywhere he goes around to look for water, and finally meets with some kids who offer him an apple, but as Revandia tries to grab it, the saints appear in between, asking the children to leave while thinking that she will die soon. but Revandia informs that he is only looking for water and wants to have a talk with the saint to inform her that she should redo the barrier around the town, which startles the saint, claiming that she will tell the saint about the barrier as she is only a little girl roaming around town. And that would be it from us for today. This anime is one hell of a comedy marathon. Will Lindsay ever know the truth about Revandia? Comment down below what you think. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to drop us a like, share it with your otaku friends, and subscribe to Annie Recaps to find more awesome animes like this to watch on your feed. Till next time, peace!